There's a metabolic upgrade hiding in plain sight that costs nothing. No new food, no pills, no counting, no apps. It's just the order you put bites in your mouth. And researchers at Weill Cornell proved it can slash your blood sugar spike by up to 37% using the exact same meal you were already going to eat. Think about how insane that is. Two people eat identical plates, same protein, same carbs, same calories. One ages their arteries, stores fat, and crashes by mid-afternoon. The other burns clean and stays sharp for hours. The only variable is what touched their tongue first. Most people have this backwards their entire lives. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the science that flips it and why your fork was a precision instrument the whole time. So stay with me, because the sharpest metabolic scientists on Earth have started treating your fork like a dosing device. And by the end of this video, you'll never eat a meal in the same order again. Think of your meal not as a pile of food, but as a sequence of text messages you're sending to your gut. Carbs first sends a screaming all-caps message, sugar flood incoming, panic. Protein first sends a calm, professional memo, heads up, fuel arriving slowly, everything's under control. Same nutrients, completely different conversation, and your metabolism responds to the tone of that message far more than you'd ever believe. This isn't wellness guru theory. In 2015, researchers at Weill Cornell Medicine, led by Dr. Alpana Shukla, published a study in diabetes care. They took people with type 2 diabetes and gave them the identical meal, protein, vegetables, and carbs, on 2 different days. Day 1, carbs first, protein last. Day 2, protein and veggies first, carbs last. Same food, same calories, the only variable was the order. The result? When protein and veggies went first, post-meal glucose was up to 37% lower across the following 2 hours, and insulin, the storage hormone, was significantly reduced too. Let that sink in. They changed nothing except the sequence, and the metabolic response transformed. And here's the kicker most people miss. This wasn't a lucky one-off. Shukla's team ran a follow-up where the protein-first group simply waited 15 minutes before touching carbs, and the glucose-lowering effect got even stronger. The lesson? It's not just what goes first, it's the head start you give it. So why? Here's the machinery. When protein and fiber hit your gut first, they trigger a release of a hormone called GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide 1. You've heard that name lately because it's the exact same pathway the blockbuster weight loss drugs hijack, except you're triggering it for free with the order of your bites. GLP-1 does 2 brilliant things. First, it slams the brakes on gastric emptying, meaning your stomach releases its contents into the intestines slower. Picture a stadium exit. Carbs first is everyone stampeding one narrow door at once. Chaos, a crush, a sugar spike. Protein first installs a calm usher who lets the crowd out in an orderly line. Second, GLP-1 signals your pancreas to release insulin more efficiently and tells your brain, we're full, stand down. But GLP-1 isn't the only messenger firing. Protein first also releases a second gut messenger, PYY, the one that tells your brain the meal is over and it's time to stop. Together, they're a tag team. GLP-1 handles the sugar, PYY handles the hunger. That's why protein first eaters naturally eat less without ever counting a single calorie. Here's why this matters far beyond one meal. Every time you spike your blood sugar hard, it's like a violent wave crashing against a coastline. One wave? No big deal. But thousands of those waves, 3 spikes a day, year after year, and you erode the shoreline. That erosion is what scientists call glycemic variability, and it's now linked to inflammation, insulin resistance, and accelerated aging of your blood vessels. Protein first doesn't stop the tide. It just turns those violent cliff-eroding waves into gentle rolling swells. Same ocean, same water, a coastline that lasts decades longer. And before you think this was a fluke, it wasn't. Researchers in Japan, publishing in the journal Diabetologia, ran their own version and found the same thing. Eating vegetables and protein before carbohydrates flattened glucose spikes and improved long-term blood sugar markers over months, not just single meals. Multiple independent labs, different continents, same shocking conclusion. This is one of the most replicated, least talked about findings in modern metabolic science. What makes the Japanese data so damning is the time frame. They tracked HbA1c, your 3-month blood sugar average, the gold standard marker doctors use to diagnose diabetes, and simply reordering meals moved that number. No new food, no new drug, just a habit so small most people wouldn't even call it a diet. That's the definition of a free upgrade. But here's the twist that flips this from a diabetes tip into a longevity tool. That flatter glucose curve means no violent crash afterward, and the crash is the villain. The crash is what has you face first in a bag of chips at 3 p.m., convinced you have no willpower. You don't have a willpower problem, you have a sequencing problem. When protein goes first and GLP-1 stays elevated, that afternoon energy cliff disappears. Study participants report steadier focus, fewer cravings, and because insulin stayed low, their bodies spend more of the day in fat burning mode instead of fat storage mode. You're not fighting your body, you're finally speaking its language. And the ripple effect reaches your sleep. That 3 p.m. crash doesn't just vanish. The stable blood sugar carries into the night, meaning fewer 2 a.m. wake-ups and deeper sleep. Better sleep then lowers cortisol the next morning, which sharpens insulin sensitivity all over again. It's a loop. One flattens the next. Fix the sequence, and the whole cycle starts working for you instead of against you. Now, before you run off and do this, 3 traps that quietly ruin the whole effect. Trap number 1, the protein bar cheat, a candy bar wearing a lab coat. Many are so loaded with sugar that eating it first spikes you anyway. Real protein means eggs, fish, chicken, Greek yogurt, tofu, legumes, food your gut actually recognizes. Trap number 2, skipping the fiber. Protein is the star, but vegetables and fiber are the co-pilots. The strongest studies used protein and veggies first. Fiber forms a gel in your gut that physically slows sugar absorption. Skip it, and you're firing with one engine. Trap number 3, believing order beats everything. It doesn't. Sequencing is a multiplier, not a magic eraser. Eat a mountain of refined carbs, and no order on earth saves you. This works with real food, not instead of it. And there's a silent trap number 4, liquid sugar. That healthy smoothie or fruit juice you sip first blows the whole system up before your food arrives. Liquids skip the gel, skip the breaks, and hit your bloodstream in minutes. If anything goes first, make it the food you chew, not the sugar you drink. So here's your entire absurdly simple protocol. No apps, no counting, no cost. At every meal, protein and vegetables first, starches and sugars last. Wait even a few minutes if you can. That's it. That's the whole hack that independent research teams across the world quietly proved changes your metabolic response by up to 1/3 using food you were already going to eat. And the beauty is it scales to real life. Restaurant? Eat the side salad and protein before the bread basket. Pasta night? A few bites of chicken and greens first. You don't need a perfect kitchen, just a 30-second head start. Do it for 1 week and watch your afternoon energy stop collapsing. Your body adapts fast when you finally speak its language. Your body has been listening this entire time. Every meal, it's been asking one question. Is it safe or is it an emergency? For years, most of us have been screaming emergency, 1 carb first, bite at a time. Starting with your very next meal, you get to answer differently. Same plate, same food, a completely different message. Your fork was a dosing device the whole time. Now you know how to aim it.